can measure 3 movements of any object: its constant speed, average speed, and acceleration. In this lab, we're going to measure constant speed of this little buggy using some unusual equipment. That's how we do it. For this lab, you're going to need a hammer timer, which you'll plug in to the socket power. Switch is here for on and off. And here's the hammer on the timer. You're also going to need a carbon disc to record the time. You want it to be pretty new looking, and the shiny dark side is where the ink is. Okay, that'll go towards the paper. You're going to need some timing paper. Of these rolls, you need about 6 feet. You know, if you just kind of grab one end here and open your arms all the way across you, that'll be about 6 feet. Of course, you're going to need the buggies. There's some red and blue ones, and a full meter stick. To set up the timer, get the end of your tape, and there's 2 staples here on each end. Run under both staples and under the hammer, and then take this end and just tape it to the back of the car. Then, here's an important part for you, is to take your little disc, again, the shiny inky side, you want to go down, and it should go, there's actually a hole in the middle of it. There's a little hole there. That little hole goes on this pin. There's a pin there. And this disc goes between the hammer here and your paper, like this. So stick it in here, put that pin through the hole. Gotta find it here by touch. I'll show you in a second. That's not great, but I did get it on there. And you see how the disc itself is between the hammer and the paper. So when you turn it on, it'll bang that ink on to and mark the paper for you as the car itself is pulling it through. I've got my timer set up with the tape and the little carbon disc. The tape itself is taped to the buggy, and the 6 feet just come back, make sure they're able to run through the entire timer. And for a little more insurance, just kind of tape the timer down to the tabletop so it doesn't move while the car is taking off on you. Okay, so I have it plugged in. Make sure the tape is under the carbon disc. Looks like it's ready to go. I look to be sure I have enough run out for the car. Make sure the cars do not crash. No cars crashing off the tabletops onto the floor. Bad students. Anyway, so once I'm set up, I turn the timer on. It's gonna make a lot of racket. Here goes. And then turn the car on and let it go. After the full tape is run through the timer, you're going to take the tape and the masking tape holding it, take it off, attach it to the table someplace we have some room to work. And then you're going to, you can see, by the way, you can see the little marks on the tape that the hammer applied through that carbon wheel. Okay, so we're going to roll that whole tape out. So here's the full length of tape. Show you all that. Okay. And then you're going to come to the beginning again. Now we would like to ignore the first couple dots in here. We don't really want to use these. So I'm going to come in a few centimeters. I'm going to mark one dot as the very first dot right here. I'll just say this one here. It could be arbitrary. And then I'm going to mark every second dot. So skip one there, skip one there. And I've got to do that 30 times. Skip one, skip one. Now some of these are doubled up. It's a little shadow. Okay, and you're just gonna go every other dot and mark that. Oops, you see that? Every other dot. Then we're going to take the meter stick, put the 0 at the very first one, and we're going to measure. So the first dot would be 0, of course. Second dot would be, looks like about 1 centimeter. Second one here would be 2.1, 3.2, and you just keep going up. You give the total length of each dot for 30 of these dots. Don't go in between each one, but always go back to the original. So again, about 1 centimeter, 2.1 centimeters, 3.2 centimeters. This one here is about 4.3, about 5.5, okay? But you gotta go all the way up to 30 dots, 30 of them. Put that data in your table. You're going to graph the data, answer the questions. Have fun.